What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Valiant, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And today, we're going to get into game one of the Knicks season. I'm not worried. They lose 132 to 109 to the Boston Celtics. Celtics shot out of their mind last night. Mikal didn't look too good. OG wasn't awesome. Cat didn't do too much on offense, but I'll get into all of it on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! At the wall, he jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career.
All right, getting into the episode. And I'm not too worried about the Knicks. Actually, I'm not worried at all. I mean, it's game one of 82. The NBA is such a long season. I posted a video on on my socials yesterday giving just my raw reaction to the Knicks game. Go follow all my socials, check them out. Links are in the description. But in that video, I said that this game was a statistical anomaly. And what I mean by that is the Celtics nor any team in the NBA will shoot at that high of a level again this year. Yes, the Celtics are a great team. They're the team to beat in the East. Their three-point shooting is incredible, no doubt. No team will shoot as well as the Celtics did last night for the rest of the year. I mean, they were shooting near 60% in the fourth quarter. That's not normal. That's something that doesn't happen very often. They tied the single game three-point record. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the Knicks. Their defense looked all right, but it didn't really matter if they were playing good defense because everything was going in for the Celtics last night, and you're gonna have those games. I would rather lose like that than lose on a buzzer beater by a half court heave or something like that. So I'm not mad at how the Knicks lost yesterday. Yeah, I'm not very happy that they lost opening night. You want to get the season started off on the right foot. But to me, the season starts Friday versus the Pacers. Home opener. I don't know. It seems like that wasn't the start of this season. That wasn't Knicks basketball. Mikal did not have it in the first half at all. The Knicks were getting beat by the screens all game long. I mean, that cannot happen. The Knicks are going to be built on perimeter defense, plain and simple. And if they're not able to fight through screens and do basically everything that they didn't do last night, we're gonna have a problem. Because the defense is gonna lead to offense, and the offense is how you win NBA games. So I'm not too worried. I'm just saying there are roots of what could be major issues for this team. I do think there's some depth issues in the front court, but this team is not done. This is a work in progress. Leon Rose will absolutely be on the phone at the deadline trying to add everywhere, guards, front court. And I think some of the depth could be internal. Like, I wouldn't mind letting Tibbs give Pacom Dadier a chance, giving Tyler Kolek a chance. Dadier could play the 3 or the 4. He didn't look terrible last night. He got some kind of rotation minutes, kind of not rotation. Actually, no, he played in the first half. So yeah, Dadier got some serious minutes yesterday. I think he scored his first NBA points. But even if he didn't, I'm not worried. I think Dadier is going to be a legit player in the NBA. I think right now, I don't think he's going to be like a legit player. I think he's going to be a role player for his career. And the way the rookie depth goes right now, I would say Dadier, Kolek, Huck Porty, Kevin McCullers, just because we haven't seen him because he has an injured shoulder. So McCullers can definitely move up that list, but I think Dadier and Kolek are 1-2, no doubt right now. I wouldn't mind Huck Porty getting a couple minutes because Jericho Sims is terrible. The only thing he can do is jump. I mean, he's got a huge frame, a big muscular build, and He's getting beat out by for loose balls by Luke Cornett. I mean, that's just the will to win, the want. You have to want it. And Sims did not have that last night, and he hasn't had it his whole career. I think it's time. Knicks got to move on from Sims. The problem is they have nobody else to go to. Like, who are you going to go to off the bench besides Sims? Because we know Tibbs doesn't like playing rookies at all. Even though this year I think the rookie class is different and the Knicks can utilize their rookies a little bit more than they usually would in a Tom Thibodeau run system. I also think, staying on kind of the topic of the rookies, that Tyler Kolek and Campaign have to split minutes. Deuce McBride looked awesome yesterday. I think he should be the shooting guard. He's a spot-up shooter. His three-pointer looked better than we've ever seen it. He was locked in, tied for the team high in points. But that's the shooting guard. There's two other guards I think the Knicks should be playing off the bench. Campaign and Tyler Kolek. I think they both should be playing, and I think this is something I'm going to be screaming and yelling about if this season doesn't go to plan. Because Kolek, yes, he's a rookie. I get it. He's unproven. He's a second-round pick. But, dude, he's better than a second-round pick. Let's just make that clear. Tyler Kolek could have been selected in the first round easily. I thought he would have been selected late in the first round, maybe 22 to 30 overall. But that's besides the point. The Knicks got an absolute steal drafting Kolek early in the second round. I think he can contribute as a rookie. Campaign's jumper is ugly, dude. He does not have any touch on that jumper. His feet are parallel to the bench. I mean, I don't know how he makes those jumpers, because last year on the Sixers in the playoffs, he was torching the Knicks a little bit. You reunite McHale and Campaign, but I mean, Campaign's got to make shots. They both do. I think for Mikal Bridges, and I'll get to this a little bit more, it's going to be removing that hitch from his jumper. I'll talk about Mikal Bridges more in depth in a couple minutes here. I'm staying on the topic of Campaign. He didn't look great as a facilitator. He couldn't hit a shot. He wasn't getting to the rim. He didn't have that high energy. Like, he could be the psychopath of this Knicks team. Like, you already have Josh Hart kind of playing that role, but he's more of a serious player than just a role player. He's like an integral rotation player. Campaign could be that guy on the outskirts that just makes everybody mad. You hate him when you're playing against him, but you love him when he's on your team. He has a legitimate shot to be that kind of guy for the Knicks this year. However, he has to prove that he's going to be able to do that. Tibbs will not hand him the keys to this second unit if he doesn't see something in Campaign. Which, I mean, he obviously does see something if he's playing like 15 plus minutes on opening night. And I might be overreacting that based on one game here, but we're NBA fans. We're Knicks fans. We're part of the NBA the New York market. We want everything as fast as possible. But I think it's gonna be a serious point as we progress in this season. I don't know what Campaign is going to be. I think he definitely has a chance to be a sharpshooter for the Knicks, point guard of that second unit. He can facilitate a little bit, just a high energy guy. But if he doesn't perform, I think Tyler Kolek has to get a chance. I know I keep harping on the Tibbs rookie minutes thing, but it's real. It's a serious subject. No rookies ever play in Tibbs' system. I think this is the year it has to be broken. That trend has to be broken. All right, let's get to Mikal Bridges. First half, disgusting. His jumper, he's got that little hitch, the Michael Gilchrist, little hitch in the giddy up. I don't know what was going on with Mikal first half. It's whatever, though. Mikal Bridges is going to be a three-point shooter for the Knicks. He's going to hit corner threes. He's going to get to the lane. He's going to be an Ironman. And most importantly, he's going to play perimeter defense at a very high level. Mikal Bridges did not do any of those things last night in the first half. I think he was sagging off on defense a little bit, waiting a little bit too far back inside the lane, almost like halfway in that circle between the free throw line and the three-point line. I think he had to get out and pressure his guy a little bit more, whether it was Tatum or Brown on any given time. I also think that it's just going to be a chemistry thing, and they'll start the team as a whole will start feeling each other better and playing with each other better and getting more chemistry and a rhythm as the season progresses. There is a lot of new faces in this New York Knicks lineup. In the starting lineup, there's three people that wouldn't be starting last year. I count Josh Hart in that because he wasn't a main starter last year. Like if the Knicks had all their guys healthy, he was a sixth or seventh man. But Mikhail's new, Cat's new, Josh is new, and that's it for right now. We'll see what happens at the trade deadline. I have a feeling that the Knicks are going to make another huge move at the deadline. Well, another huge move because the Anunoby trade I wouldn't consider at the deadline. It was about a month and a half before. But Anunoby did not do anything last night either. I mean, I don't think Kevin Harlan said his name one time. He had 4 points, a very non-factor on defense, the $240 million man. I just hope the Knicks don't regret giving him that huge of a contract. Tibbs and Leon have been hesitant to pull the trigger on a huge deal like that, $200 million plus. They haven't given that to anyone yet, including Jalen Brunson, the captain. But OG seems like the kind of guy where you're going to give him the money because he's a winner. And that's what all he's done in New York. I mean, I think the Knicks are 23-4 now with OG in the lineup. All he's done is win here. And I don't know. The Knicks are going to be fine. This is game one. The season starts on Friday. That was just the last preseason tune-up in my eyes. That's how I'm viewing it. Friday, you get right against the Pacers. Send Tyrese Halliburton back to Indiana. And yeah, man, I mean, not an ideal start to the season. I thought the effort could have been a little bit better defensively, but I don't think it would have mattered. The Celtics were just hitting everything. And we take pride in them not letting set the record on us. They couldn't hit that last three in the final quarter. They missed 12 in a row. That's what I'm talking about. Lock up D. Air balls all day. No, the Celtics, they were playing the NBA version of Josh Dobbs out there in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a silly record anyway. But let me get to Karl Anthony Towns a little bit. He did score. He had a good presence in the mid range. I don't think he made a 3-pointer, but also he wasn't getting to the rim and attacking the rim as aggressive as I would have liked. I think this is something that he'll progress in as the season goes along, just based on the Tibbs center system. He's always developed really good centers. And it's not even developing Karl Anthony Towns because he does have a very developed game. He's a very skilled basketball player. But now it's going to be adding on those auxiliary parts of his game, getting into the lane more, forcing the ball into the paint. Like he had Drew Holiday on him for a good portion of the game, just because of switches with him and Brunson in the pick and roll, which I think that's another part of the chemistry. The Cat Brunson pick and roll by April and May will be one of the most deadly plays in the NBA. But when you get a 6'1" Drew Holiday switched onto you and you're 6'11" in Karl Anthony Towns, you got to back him down. You got to use all your body. You got to get to the rim and slam that ball over him. You have to put the ball in his throat. That's just how we run things in the Knicks. We don't take fadeaway hook shots. I mean, that Isaiah Hartenstein's special was the little floater. That was even pushing it for what Tibbs would allow. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is going to be taking these little fadeaway hook shots for much longer. And on defense, I wasn't too mad at him. I thought there were a couple times where the lane was very open, but I think that's more of a playing the Celtics thing than his defense wasn't good enough. Because the Celtics' floor spacing is elite. I mean, I think all three of the bigs that they played last night could shoot. Xavier Tillman, Luke Cornett, and Al Horford are all, I guess, serviceable shooting bigs. Like, it was all right. I would like to see a little bit more intensity in the lane, though. And the offensive rebounding wasn't there. I know that's Josh Hart's specialty. Maybe and might not be Karl Anthony Towns' thing, but he's going to have to be a good rebounder because the Knicks thrived with offensive rebounds last year, and they're going to have to continue to do that because that's one of those building blocks that they set last year. That was their culture. Offensive rebounding was a huge part of that season. I saw a stat yesterday. I was looking through my phone. I screenshotted it. It was last season, Mitch had the most offensive rebounds through the first 5 games in Knicks history. It was or something like that. Or no, it was the first Knick to have 50 or more rebounds in the 50 or more offensive rebounds in the first 5 games of a team season. And Josh Hart continued that. OG Anunoby was an underrated offensive rebounder. Um, Jalen will get in there every once in a while. Like the offensive rebounding has to be there if the Knicks want to win. They had 0 second chance points in the first quarter. Overall in the game, they ended up. They definitely had a couple points. Let me see here, but the second chance points are huge. That's like I said, where the Knicks thrived. If we have, if I can see, um, I don't know if I can see it, but then they definitely had probably like 4 or 6, but that's not enough at all. They need to be 15 to 20 at least if they want to win. I'm not worried. I know I outlined a lot of negative, but the positive, Jalen Brunson looked good. Deuce McBride looked real good. And this is just game 1 of 82. If the Knicks are going to go to the NBA Finals, which I think they have as good a chance as anyone to do in this league, the regular season does not matter as much. I think last year Knicks fans got accustomed to, we go out and we fight every night. We don't lose in the regular season. Yeah, everybody else is resting. We're going to go out there. We're going to fight. We're going to scratch. We're going to claw. We're going to hustle for every loose ball. That's not going to be the Knicks this year. Last season was a lot of fun. It was a lot of that hustle and scratch. Everyone's against us mentality. This year it's going to be more of a grind, a slow grind that it's going to be building up to their peak form in April and May. This is going to be a different style year that Knicks fans are used to, and I'm here for it. I don't think it's going to be as fun, but at the end of the day, winning is fun. Knicks dropped this one 132 to 109. I don't really care. It's game 1. We'll rebound Friday night. The home opener, MSG, opens back up after game 7, where the Pacers defeated the Knicks last year. The tides will change. The tables will turn on Friday night. For now, I'm your host, Ben Ballion. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications, and keep it locked with the Sports Pod.